Hello and welcome back to JomezPro's coverage of round one of the 2024 European Open PDGA Major number 204. And yes, that rain did happen today. You're watching JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
The front nine showed us really what the monster is all about. We saw the diabolical quadruple bogey. We saw the trouble you could find yourself in. And we also saw the opportunities for scoring, as we've got Niklas Anttila in first place in the event on a 5-hole birdie streak. I didn't even think that would happen to anyone all week on this course, but Niklas Anttila, the current course record holder at 8 under par, gave us a treat to finish the front nine. Simon Lizotte, a lot of pars, quite a few opportunities, not quite capitalizing on all of his putts, but he's bogey free, and that's the way to be here at the Monster.
Heading into hole 10, par 3, 279, 85 meters. This is the must-get on the course.
Yeah.
It's a little dinker, but it's right there in front of you. You need to hit a little gap with a slight turn, maybe sneak a forehand in there. But this one is one that you want to get. Let's see how these guys attack it.
It's a lot of trees for a must-get, but I mean, as far as this course goes, you're not going to get better opportunities. And Niklas vying for 6 in a row. And goes to the back edge of the circle. A clean drive.
Gave her a little scare there, too. A little more Anheuser. That
Could you imagine that? 5 birdies in a row and then an ace on the Monster. This is a little bit more the shape that I think you're trying to throw there. Simon gives it a scare as well.
Great shots. That little bit of turnover to the right, that's the biggest gap. Give yourself the best chance to get through. There's certainly a little bit of luck factor going on with this hole, but I think if you can throw that tight turnover like this,
oh my goodness,
you give yourself a great chance.
For our group thus far. It's very impressive.
Wow, so much hyzer to start.
Wow.
That is so flippy.
And finally, the last tree available, Corey connects on, but missed enough of the trees. He's actually got a look from C2.
Kind of needs it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
In the worst way.
Yeah, and he gets it. And now getting back to even par. And Corey's out here still fighting. Five over par strokes in the round through 10, and he is even par. To keep the streak alive, Niklas Anttila. Off left side chains.
For 6 in a row?
It's just pretty unbelievable to think. But that's what clean driving will do for you, and that is Niklas. That's his MO. He is so good off the tee. You said it best in the front nine. He always picks the right shot for each hole, and it gives him such a good opportunity with his ability to throw backhand and forehand equally to always have a good chance for the birdie. Niklas, the only player on our card without the birdie on 10. That was the most birdied hole on the course. Going to the least birdied hole on the course, hole 11. Makes sense. It's a 500-foot par 3 through the most amount of birch trees you're ever going to see on a par 3 ever. You got a couple routes to go off the tee, the left side, right side, but it's just, that's what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like right there. This could be a par 4 and would be still kind of tough.
Ooh, didn't really pick a side for Simon Lizotte. There's about 5 birch trees down that middle that force you to stay in either the left tunnel or the right tunnel. He
But
had that right side targeted, but
he does stay in the middle, which is important. He'll have a chance to advance and potentially save the par on the second.
ooh, I think that's the wrong side of the tree. I think Gannon was trying to go
Okay, that
left side and turn the disc, and he grip locked that.
It's all the way through, though. He's just
Yeah,
going to have
really.
a jump putt really approach. It's pretty lucky. See a lot of people on that right side kick, and you got nothing coming into the hole. Like this.
and that is a pretty typical result there. Trying to get the 500 feet, usually you're going to get a huge kick either left or right.
Keep
He is
drifting.
so good at that type of shot shaping. Just a little bit off. Needed to turn it a tad more, but he's so good at trusting that left side and not sending it out too wide or pulling it late like we saw with Gannon.
As we take a look at the difficulty of some of these approach shots, Simon
Oh,
Lizotte
wow.
has done
Simon.
really well.
Just outside bullseye. Incredible.
As just what I was going to say is, as we take a look at the difficulty, I just want to shout out two guys in my group reaching circle one in one group on this hole, lefty and a righty.
The lefty
I'm
thing
lucky
doesn't make
that-
any sense to me.
I'm lucky I got to see it.
Wow, Corey Ellis. He's going to have just outside C1 for the par, but what an incredibly tight line he had to hit. All right, good effort from Niklas there from the knee.
Couple long, long putts to save the par, though. I'd say about 40, 45 feet. Ooh.
To put in perspective how hard it was raining earlier in the day, this is the hole I was on when it was raining the hardest, and you couldn't see 100 feet in front of you. It's unbelievable.
Actually, just right outside the circle, and he just misses high.
And Niklas pulls it right. He's going to take a bogey.
Back-to-back misses from Niklas from that same distance, pretty much.
And that's a great par save for Simon and a par for Gannon. And you said it, Nate. Two players on your card with the birdie. You got Dennis Augustsson and Teemu Talakainen. Tuomas Hytiainen, Chris Dickerson, and Jakob Napak, Kupakub. Those were the 5 birdies in the field on hole 11. And I believe that's actually what Seppo prophesized and how many birdies there would be a day.
Did he think 5?
I think it's what he said. I think he said you probably see 5 birdies a day, which
He knows.
he knows his Tampere Disc Golf Center.
Heading into hole 12, par 5, 804 feet, 245 meters. First shot right down the tube to the pinch point. You want to land somewhere around here. It's going to be tough to get there, and then you got to do it again to another pinch point around the corner, and from there you can access the green. Kicking left, kicking right off the fairway is just so punishing.
And none of these shots are too challenging. They're not that much distance. I think the hardest shot really is the tee. And then from there, it's just a couple of short, accurate shots.
But how many of those can you do in a row?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's what you need to do to walk away with birdie here.
Just a bit too tight there for Simon. Looking for it to flip up a bit more.
Needs to start moving left.
And that kicks the opposite direction.
Still might be okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a step out to the side, you can get plenty of distance from wherever you are as long as you're looking down the tunnel on your second.
Aggressive angle from Ellis. paying off.
Oh yeah, nearly in the mulch chips. That's fantastic. Or the light colored mulch chips.
I think that looked great.
Yeah, the thing comes out of his hand kind of right where his hand's pointing. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like his other hand just comes forward and it's like guiding it down the fairway. I'm like, oh, that's a nice trick.
Really, no one else does it like him. Oh, Gannon loves it. Gannon loves it, and there's a lot to like there. That is around the corner, looking down the tunnel for the third shot. He couldn't do it much better from back there.
Yeah, not more than about 250 feet from there. Maybe even a little less.
Yeah, and the basket's actually way to their left. So you look at his little footing there, you're thinking, I'm not so sure that's correct. It is. It's a big horseshoe, so it's no mandatories.
That's forced mandatory. You can't really get creative on this fairway. One of the elements of this course is it really just forces you down certain directions. A good shot for Corey around the corner.
Curious,
Passing.
what's this coming in as far as how easy it is? Sorry to interrupt you there,
Oh, you're
Jerm.
okay. Well, 12 is playing right at par.
Okay. So I'm guessing that's like middle of the pack.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
dead center. Slightly on the easier side.
Okay.
10 holes of this course playing over par. Simon jackknifing Anheuser with overstable forehand and comes up a bit short. Long putt coming to an elevated basket.
Oh.
Tough roll.
Yeah. Not where you want to hit it. He certainly wants to swing that in sooner. It's a bad roll, but that's not the area of the green he's aiming for. He wants that in there a little more left, just a little shorter.
Kind of, well, Corey's
Shorter,
going,
yeah. I don't think you really want to go up to the top level here. I think the best approach, right in front of those logs, you're looking at about 15 feet from there. I think trying to get it all the way on the top, asking for a little bit of trouble on the backside. See if Niklas subscribes to that philosophy.
Well, he's doing it in a different way, but yeah, he gets there. And Simon taking one for the team here, going in the puddle, not taking the casual relief back to try to get a better angle here.
Sometimes when your socks are already wet.
Oh, great effort.
Oh, a nice way to stick up there. That could have gotten pretty rolly with that angle.
Well, and you know, if the waterproof shoes are working well, then maybe he didn't even get his foot wet at all there.
There are some days when it don't matter how waterproof the shoes are. Yeah. I don't think.
Oh, Gannon, great effort, but off left side.
Tom, you're one foot off every throw.
You can see the patience being tested now. One of the aspects of this course, I think it bites everyone at some point.
Usually by hole 12.
Yeah, and Corey Ellis needed that one to get back to even once again.
Usually about hole 12 on a hard course like this, you're like, I've thrown a lot of good shots.
Yeah.
And I'm even par.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if I can throw better shots. But this is, a lot like Northwood Black. It takes great shots to get birdie. It doesn't just take a bunch of good shots.
Sustained.
You have to have a great shot after a great shot with a great putt, and then you get a birdie. Which I think is what major championships should be.
Yeah, and if you're not a player on the Pro Tour, you probably haven't played too many courses that challenge the tee, the approach, and the putt like these major championship courses, such as the Tampere Disc Golf Center. They just challenge you all the way through. There's not one point when it takes the tension away. And look at that, Paul Macbeth now with a 2-shot lead now at 6 under par. Off to the races.
Hole 13, par 5, 935 feet. Little OB pond on the right side as well as a mandatory forcing you to the left. Second shot's going to find this area, and then on your third, you're looking to swing something to the right. Ideally get over this little wall, set up that circle one birdie look.
Take a look here at the young Roland Kurr. I don't know how to roll your R's that well, but young player from Estonia. Out of the woods. Probably near 20 meters away. This is the young player has been making a big name for himself lately with great play.
Oh, wow.
That gets Roland to 5 under.
What a start.
And why not check in with Anthony Barella? And that was his 5th shot. And that's well short. And Chris Dickerson on the same hole, throwing his 3rd. Such a delicate turnover. Beautiful.
Ooh.
Into bullseye. So this putt for bogey for Anthony.
You don't see him come in with that much speed typically from that distance unless somebody threw it.
It's so low.
Yeah.
It just didn't have a big arc on that putt at all. It zipped it in there from every bit of 65 to 70 feet for the bogey save. Meanwhile, Chris Dickerson taps in his birdie, and he's off to the races as well. If this gets clean, this could be bombed. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Corey missed his line in all sorts of ways, but ended up with a gem of a drive after all.
You don't see a lot of people getting past that little pond right there. Just doesn't happen.
Oh,
This isn't turn enough.
Good little roll
Oh,
down.
Yes, it was.
Could potentially be like a putt back to the fairway in that area if you go a little more left.
Is this moving right enough? And it is not. I believe we have the return of rain at this point.
Overturned, gets a little love from the tree, though. He was even calling water right there.
And Simon hitting a tree on his way out. His bogey-free round is in jeopardy now. Especially with the rain coming down. Cannot imagine a par save at this point. Well,
That was pretty good.
that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's starting to come into picture for me in focus.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how close he is to where Chris Dickerson threw his approach, but he's going to have to throw a similar shot shape. That's pretty good advance for Niklas. There's actually mandatory forcing players to go through this tunnel here, so Gannon doesn't really have any chance to do much more than this.
Ooh, and it tucks him a little bit, too.
Yeah, you're not.
That's a
loving
bummer.
that. Especially with the extendable arms. Those go-go gadget arms. They don't fit in those tight tree
No.
spaces very easily.
For this guy either.
Yeah, when you're taking a big swing.
Corey getting way up the fairway after 2.
Gonna be pinched though a little bit.
Angle's not going to be great.
Ooh. A little go-go gadget and hyzer.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
awesome for Gannon.
Great shot. That's a makeable putt for sure.
Hard to do in the rain. The forehand gets pretty tricky once the disc gets like the super dry or the super slick that happens when it's raining. Nice control there from Gannon.
Yeah, typically doesn't really get a lot drier when it's raining.
But do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I totally do. I
know
just
that
think
sounds
that's
weird
funny.
if, if you haven't played in the rain much, sometimes what happens is the disc gets so dry from your towels that it doesn't have the natural oils that you're used to with the tackiness that you want. Okay, Simon. He's got to look from just outside the circle to keep the bogey free going. That in itself is a huge feat.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, Niklas has just played this hole so well.
Save the par at least. I mean, that first shot he was really tucked in.
I'm sorry, I forgot about the first
Yeah.
shot. Yeah, the shots after that have all been really nice.
Yeah, fantastic play to save par because we see Simon struggling a little bit from a very similar spot.
This guy's played the hole fantastically well. Corey Ellis, inside bullseye for the birdie.
Haven't seen Gannon really connect from outside the circle this round. A little tougher to do when discs are extra dry and extra wet, like you said.
Oh, Simon. Oh, fist goes up.
Gannon lasted till hole 12. Simon hole 13.
Yeah. And Gannon slams home the par putt.
I think we have to give credit where credit is due with Corey Ellis keeping it together after that 8 ball in the corner
Yeah,
pocket over
sure.
there.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and this to get Corey back to 1 under, which is a fantastic score.
Yeah.
Defending champion trying to get it going.
Yeah, I
Quadruple
mean,
bogey or not, under par at the Monster is fine.
he's tied with Gannon Buhr and Simon Lizotte. You know?
Yeah. A lot of birdies for that man today so far.
Paul Macbeth, 7 under through 13.
We are here. We are one. We will fight. We will fall. We will prevail. From the fjords of Norway to the shores of Spain, from the fire of Iceland to the hope of Ukraine, 30 countries, one voice. Go Europe.
Hole 14, par 4, 564 feet. Sharp left bend and a very narrow pinch point here on this hole. As you get to this spot, if with a perfect drive, you have some choices. There's a little fence on the left side trying to stop you from getting through that back door, but there is this OB sand area that's going to be a problem for some players. If you're out of position, hard to justify getting aggressive with that OB waiting.
Anthony looking like he's going with a little up and down round as well. Couple bogeys with some birds sitting 2 under par. Second shot into the par 4. Gets
up a bit short.
rejected. Yep. In the rain too. Look at this little hole. Wow.
Okay.
Well, we saw him zip it in there from 60 at about 1 foot off the ground and somehow made it. So that little gap is no problem when you can put that much pepper on the putter.
Yeah, 2 great putts in a row for Anthony Brella.
Raining hard for him and not hard for Corey, though. Look at that.
Looks to be a solid drive.
Yep.
Looks like the rain has already stopped. They came in quick pockets on opening day.
Yeah, how long did it last when that second little burst came in for you guys?
Second burst, well, I wasn't on the course during the second burst, but the first one, like we said earlier, hardest rain I've ever played through, I think.
It was probably like 10 to 15 minutes of
agree with
like
that.
absolutely brutal rain.
Felt like an hour.
It was raining underneath the umbrellas, put it that way. I mean, there's no way to stay dry when it's raining that hard. Niklas and Gannon, a little too tight on that left side. That's the side you have to avoid. It's going to be scramble city for those two.
Same.
Okay. Tough shots coming.
Corey might be trying to go back door by that wall.
Yep.
Oh, I liked it. Apparently that wall was just built. There wasn't a wall pretty recent on this hole, and they just wanted to add a little bit more challenge, make the player think about what they wanted to do. Gannon, super overstable, and Heiser trying to get flex, and that's going to come up short. There you see it. Look at this shot.
Wow, he's really going to try to go over the sand from that.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good. That is obscene. Oh my
How does he get
word.
the power for that? That's incredible out of that stance.
Unbelievable.
That's just a Simon trick shot.
That's probably like
Who even practices that?
that's probably like 300 worth of power, even if the shot isn't going quite 300.
What a throw for Simon. Oh
That's
my
pretty
goodness.
incredible.
And look at the difference. Niklas just having to pitch sideways. That'll be one of the top 10 shots of the tournament. No question. Regardless of where Simon finishes, that was amazing.
Niklas not liking it, but
Yeah,
getting
he-
through.
Kind of getting away with one there in the early inside corner.
Just go through one of those little guys.
You can see why Gannon was a little perturbed by his approach shot. Does not want to be left with this on his third. It's not going to hurt him, though. And every little thing that doesn't go perfectly is this point's going to be adding to the nerves.
Looks like a similar spot as Anthony was. It's the
Yeah,
same spot.
Same hole.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it was hard.
Proof. A good scramble par for Niklas.
How hard is it to actually keep the fairway? We saw them all kind of struggle with it and end up on that left side. Is it the angle and then the disc choice, or
Yeah, I think this shot actually sets up really well for the forehand turnover that has a little tiny break back to the right at the end of its flight. The backhand is, you have to have it flipping up the whole time while moving left, and it's just a hard thing to avoid that left side rough.
I think the break in the fairway is like closer to the tee than it normally is on a hole that's sweeping left, and then the pinch is narrower than usual. So it's asking for a very specific shot if you are going to find short grass. It's a special shot, I think, just to land in the short grass.
I agree with that, yeah. Hole 15, par 4. This one has to go down this path, and you want to stay as close to this path as possible. From there, trying to get over this out-of-bounds pond up onto this elevated tier. There's trees along the path as well. It is a very difficult par 4. Second most difficult hole on the course. Nearly as tough as hole 1. to par.
No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No.
That's how you know you throw it pretty far. You got time to go through it all. A couple times over.
Yeah, you get 5 no's and 4 yeses. No.
He put it in Corey's mind.
We got 1 no, 1 good. Let's see what Niklas never says anything. Well, his disc is in the air.
That looks so good.
No.
And
There's 1 no.
yeah, there's the no.
Oh, yes, Steve.
Oh, I do like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
Told you.
So good.
So that's how you get a birdie look on this
Oh
hole.
my goodness. What a shot from Gannon Buhr with his PD.
How far is that?
It has to be like 440.
Okay.
If not more. I mean, yeah, full flight with that PD. He's usually getting that thing up there.
Let's go.
Are you
Wow.
kidding me? Are you kidding me? What?
What was that?
What a shot.
He's putting a lot into that. That
Oh
is
my
ripped.
goodness. It nearly throws it in. Unbelievable.
This is just a pitch out, it looks like. Trying to get back to the road, set up a shot over the pond, but that doesn't look great, does
Get a
it?
forehand standstill turnover for Niklas coming up.
Gannon's been hanging on, no red in recent memory,
Yeah.
so
I think going all the way back to hole 1.
that's pretty good, just outside bullseye. Barely catch Simon pitching out, but that's all it was.
Yes.
Get stable.
Here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh, getting twisty.
Really manipulating a lot of angle for that short of an approach for Niklas. Yes. No.
No.
Yeah. No. Oh boy. I don't know if I've ever seen Simon get that smacky.
Yeah, pretty
Go for it.
frustrated.
I think we're about to see 25% of the birdies from the entire day on this card.
Good save there from Niklas.
With this short birdie putt, 8 birdies from the entire field, and 2 of them from this card. Simon will be tapping in his second bogey of the last 3 holes and of the round. He was our last remaining bogey-free player in the field before he took his bogey back there on the 13th.
A bogey-free round out here would be so cool.
You need perfect weather for it. First, you need some good kicks probably, and a lot of good putts.
And you gotta be playing really good.
And your tee shots have to be great, and so do your approaches.
Yeah.
Hole 16, par 5, 932 feet up the hill. Try to get past that one tree that you can see from the tee. From there, it's downhill, which is pretty specific down the fairway. You got the OB on the left side with a big lake there. It's a very pretty hole. Opportunity for eagle potentially.
How far are these guys looking to get to have the eagle up?
I think you have to get past the tree that you might see just off to the left side of that fairway up at the top of the hill. Corey pulls this one off to the right side, and that is not what you want.
I don't think too many people are really like thinking about eagling this, but
it's not the first thought.
Technically possible, I suppose.
I just saw Gannon post some video on Instagram how to eagle hole 16
Nice,
the monster.
nice.
It took a long putt, but it was a shot kind of like that one, maybe another 60 to 70 feet off the tee.
Yeah, if you could get up there as far as the spotter, I think you've got potentially a chance to think about going with a power shot on the next shot where you can really straighten that shot out. Where most drives land, you're looking to like play a little fading shot. You can't really extend the distance.
Right. And Niklas got pretty good distance off the tee. This one flips up just a tad too much to get full ride out of it, but in the end, it's in the fairway. Just
so that one probably had a little potential.
Yeah, to get to a good spot. I still don't think Simon's playing for the eagle. Certainly not in these conditions.
Check.
Very good. Thank you.
Oh man,
that's great. Well thrown.
Wonder if he could go faster than that. It was like he ran back to just run into it. That was funny.
Didn't want to second guess himself. He knew what he wanted to do and got a good result out of it.
This kind of shows you why you can't really attack with that much distance from a shorter position.
Yep.
It's got to be swinging left.
Corey from off the fairway. Looks like he's found some kind of hole. Is that working? I'd say so.
Corey to get to 3 under.
Yeah. Working hard. All right, good shot from Niklas. Almost convinced that Simon was trying to give that a bit of a bid. Corey, a bit of a scary putt here from just outside the circle for the birdie. And he nails it. 3 under now for Corey. How many birdies is this man going to get today? 9 so far. Half the holes if he doesn't birdie 17 and 18.
Pretty incredible.
It's amazing.
Really, our whole card here has been doing pretty well to stay under par.
Oh, a little lazy there for Niklas. The wind coming off the water there gets the nose down and just didn't quite get enough pop on that one. Unforced air for Anttila. Going to be the only par for the group on the second most birdied hole in the course, hole 16.
That's pretty amazing. Second most birdied.
Yeah.
Still a lot of distance, a lot of trees.
And second easiest as well.
Wow.
That little shorty was the easiest.
Hole 10 was the easiest.
Okay.
Yep. And then 16.
Not going to be 17. Par 4, 630. Oh my goodness, this is as tight as they make them. Out the gap. Forehand is the best play, I think. Get around the corner, sets you up for dealer's choice of how you can manufacture some sort of shot to get back here in the corner. Another sidearm, big turnovers work as well. But get out the gap is what you're really trying to do on this hole.
Really, just get out the gap. We'll talk about the approach later. Just hit the gap by all means. Early of the gap is just death. And look at that. Corey with the hyzer flip. Super understable putter. That's a little short of where you'd like to be, though, for a good angle up the hill in the second. Oh, boy. Nothing good happens from short right. A decent second kick for Simon. Might have a decent hole to get out the gap on his second. And this group is in some trouble.
That's trouble. I think kicking right. Look, yeah, look. Just to get to a place where you can access the basket is going to be incredible from here. Yeah, not happening.
Yeah.
There's no way you're reaching the basket from
You
there.
would love a bogey at this point if you're Niklas. That's a pretty great shot for Simon. Keeps it wide. Opens up the angle quite a bit for his third up the hill. Oh, boy. Gannon is looking skyward here.
Oh, wow. Not sure what's going to happen with this.
I don't think anyone knows. That's good work from the cameraman to keep that one in frame.
I don't think that's good.
No, it's not. But it's on the other side of the trees. And that's okay.
Again, this is a position where getting too aggressive is the mistake. There's no way he can get up there by the basket. I think that's really well done. Just kind of targeting that landing zone on the flat ground, trusting your skills to execute and hopefully get out of there with single bogey.
Corey trying to get up there for some sort of look. Kind of does.
Yeah.
Scary green, though. Yeah.
Yeah, scary little putt.
Frightening green. That's what happens with missed putts. It just keeps going down to the bottom of the hill, but at least Simon's done that on his third shot. He'll have that putt coming back uphill for the par.
Yeah, it's so tough with these approaches because you want to land them soft like that, but you don't want to land it too soft and leave yourself the, oh, I have to run it. I'm just inside the circle. I have to go.
I don't even know where Gannon is.
Well, over the top again. Gannon playing this hole in a way that maybe no one else ever has. Yet somehow it's the same story as so many others.
Bogey.
Off the fairway, off the fairway, off the fairway bogey. Corey. He's going for it.
Ooh.
And he is going to pay the price.
Pretty heavy price. Outside circle, obstructed, uphill look.
Live by the sword, die by the sword, though. Corey Ellis, aggressive putter from all places. And unable to make the comeback putt, and he will take the bogey.
So close.
You see why he's my favorite player to watch him not play well? He's just so entertaining. I mean, I'd rather see him play well, as we all
would. This for bogey.
Yeah.
This hole just eating our card up right now.
And that will be more than likely single bogeys for every player on the card.
All right, keep your wits about you. You got one more hole.
And it's the third easiest hole in the course. This is the type of course that you could easily see yourself playing a whole round and not carding a single two, but you're always given an opportunity here on the final hole as we take a look at scores. Paul Macbeth, Randon Latta, 6 under. Chris Dickerson, I believe, 5 under. Or no, he's also 6 under going into the final hole. This is the hole they call the submarine. So difficult to get it close. You have to land it on that flat or getting the right side hyzer on the right side of the mound with the right hand backhand or the left side of the mound for the left or right-handed forehand. Whatever words are.
Super straight mid-range is a great option here.
Oh, look at that wind picking up right now. And that's just never going to stay on the hill. As slow of a round as it has been for Gannon, 2 under with a chance to get to 3 under is pretty decent.
It's really good.
It's really good. Simon putting some zip on this one. Oh, hitting the top of the sub. That's a pretty tough place to run a putt for the birdie. Pretty slow back 9 for Niklas. One more chance to get to 4 under par.
And that's not going to do it.
No, I don't believe it will unless he makes a big putt. So no good drives to speak of here for our feature card on 18.
I think Gannon's parked.
Oh, that's true. You're absolutely right. Cannon's got a short one. And after the mishap on 17, Corey wants no part of 18, and neither does Simon.
But as we keep saying, great fight from Corey today. 2 under par with a lot of adversity out there.
Guess he's not parked. Little 20-footer.
And that gets Gannon to 3 under par for the round.
Just like that, he tied for the best score on the card.
That's right.
Struggled the whole round, it seemed like.
Yep.
Figured out a way,
super frustrated.
It's just the type of player Gannon is. And Niklas just really struggled in the back nine. 1 over par. He shoots 3 under on for the round. And that puts him in the top 10. That is how hard this course was. Randon Latta, Chris Dickerson, both 7 under par. We've got Andrew Miranda and Paul Macbeth rounding out our league card. There's one more round out here.
Yeah, there's somebody on this leaderboard that I want to point out. Andrew Presnell. Watch him in this second round because this is a perfect course for him. It reminds me a lot of Northwoods Black.
Totally.
He's coming off a major championship as the winner. I'm just saying.
He is the reigning major champion going into this event. And I think you're right. We talked a lot about how the Monster relates in difficulty to Northwood Black. And if you can keep your drives in the fairway, I think Andrew Presnell certainly will have a say after the second round here tomorrow.
One more round at the Monster. Thank you so much to the Founders Club.